From the sauna in Ventura, California, this is Late Night Health. We are based in the basement of Wayne Manor and just outside the avocados, the persimmons, and I think there's some figs in the back there too.
Yeah, figs.
Figs.
That's where we get the fig leaves from.
The fig leaves. We're all wearing those because we are in, as I said, a sauna here. We are talking...
No, we're not.
No, we're not. Not really. We don't have towels on either. We're talking to Judie Henninger. We're talking about the fact that 2 years ago she was diagnosed with breast cancer. She made a choice. She had a mastectomy. And then you did some alternative things, including taking a product that would save your hair. It didn't fall out. Tell us about
that. That is correct. When I was diagnosed, I contacted another friend who I knew who just gone through breast cancer, was going through the process, and she said to me, check out this website. The product that I use is Penguin cold caps. And she said, check out the website. She goes, I found out about it too late, so I couldn't use them because you have to start at the very beginning of chemo, the first chemo session. So I went on the website. I read all about it. And because that was honestly, and as vain as it sounds, I mean, that's one of the things that really, the first thing women think about when they have breast cancer and they have to go through chemo is that they're going to lose their hair because
Absolutely.
you do. I mean, it takes 15 to 17 days and it's gone.
Right.
So I went on the website. I contacted the marketing reps. I talked with actually the woman who became my sales rep. And she actually had used the products a few years back because she also had breast cancer, and she had the same kind that I had, which is called HER2/neu, which is a very aggressive kind of cancer, especially if you're not menopausal. It's still aggressive when you're menopausal, but not as aggressive. It's much slower. But she successfully used the caps, and that gave me great, I felt really good about that, knowing that she'd gone through this already. And she didn't work for the company either while she was going through it, but she wound up working for them because she believed so strongly in it.
Is it a capsule or a cap?
No, it's an actual cap. It's like Velcroed onto your head. It looks like a helmet, and it is 25 degrees Celsius, or 25 degrees, period, Fahrenheit. I forget what the Celsius, but 25 degrees. So what happens is you order a certain amount of caps based on how many chemo sessions, and then you store them at home in your freezer, and then 2 days before chemo you bring them to your oncology center. And my oncology center, and actually 3 of the oncologists I interview, all supported this therapy. And so they had special freezers there. They're called Penguin cold cap freezers to keep the caps at the temperature that they needed to be at as soon as chemo started.
And it prevented your hair from falling out?
Yeah, because what happens with the caps is that, let's say 95% of the chemo does not get into the scalp. There's maybe like a 5% amount that gets into the scalp, which is or the hair follicles, I should say, which is what prevents you from losing your hair because the chemo's not getting down into the hair follicles. And, it's like, I had to pay for this because insurance doesn't cover it yet. It's also not FDA approved yet, although it's going to be. I think it should be approved sooner, but that's a whole other thing. It's used widely in Europe and in New Zealand and everywhere else.
And was it expensive?
It wasn't. I mean, relatively, it would have been. I mean, it could be for some people. I mean, I was lucky. I did have the money, but all in all, it cost me about maybe $3,000 altogether for 6 sessions.
But it's certainly worth it. Judie, we're out of time, and
okay.
You have provided some really interesting perspective on the shock of being told you have cancer, and then not only living through it, but pushing through it with grace and dignity, and being able to help other women do the same thing. If you want information about this, Judie doesn't do this for a living. But we're going to have a picture of Judie and a little bio, and she'll have an email or a link to something on our website at latenighthealth.com. Just go to Judie under the J's under our guest tab. And Judie, thank you very much for joining us. We really do appreciate your sharing your life with us.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Hour 2 is coming up, and if you don't get Hour 2, you can by tuning in to latenighthealth.com, latenighthealth.com, and go to Facebook and join our group. It's brand spanking new. I'm Mark Alyn. More coming up as we bend around the corner.